All right, we're gonna do another Mr. Nobody video. Last time it was Ron DeSantis and how we get played by the right. This time I'm gonna use some examples from Hunter Biden's career as a crackhead criminal to show how the left takes advantage just as easily. Really, this isn't about Hunter Biden. Really, this is about the word republic in America. A republic doesn't seem to be very well understood. It's a plural system where there's checks and balances and a separation of powers. We don't have a separation of powers. Mitch McConnell is the legislative branch. Trump was the executive branch. This is a quote. I am Trump and he is me and we are one. I know what he knows what I know. Consider us one. It's all over our government. We're going to take a look at how the branches are working together in some specific examples later. Checks and balances. This is when the three branches are not responsible to each other. They cannot be working together. In a republic, the legislative branch is not responsible to the executive branch. In America, the executive branch has been writing the words and signing them into law. See my first video. We do not live in a republic. So we're going to talk about this sentence. No reasonable prosecutor would bring these charges. Jim Comey of the executive branch investigated Hillary, who had been in both branches, and he found over 100 provable charges and described them, but he refused to list them. And then he never said, I don't have a provable charge, because again, he found over 100 provable charges is what he seemed to indicate. And again, never said he didn't have a provable charge. So Hillary took those documents and no reasonable prosecutor. Trump took documents and no reasonable prosecutor. Biden took documents and no reasonable prosecutor. And Pence took documents and no reasonable prosecutor. Three of them can hardly read. They're definitely selling this stuff. So it seems we have a little bit of a prosecutor problem. Till we find some unreasonable prosecutors, 12 citizens are never going to get to see anything. And look at the mess we're in now, and still 12 citizens have seen nothing. They just keep doing it all by themselves without us. This is not a republic. A republic is a public matter. The purpose of government in America is the allocation of resources to govern for the public health, safety, and morals, not the state. Mitch and Nancy are governing for the state. So let's look at the left. Hunter Biden, let's look at some of his crimes. At 18, he is arrested for crack on the beach in New Jersey. No reasonable prosecutor. He's corrupted out of that arrest by his corrupt father in a corrupt town. No reasonable prosecutor and no reasonable reporter. Don Lemon didn't go to New Jersey. There was a year of campaigning. Anybody could have gotten those public documents, spoken to some 18-year-old black males who had maybe gotten arrested for the exact same arrest, see how their lives turned out if they wanted to share. Nope, we went to the polls without any of this information. According to Senator Tom Carper, Hunter didn't get into the University of Delaware, which would make sense because, you know, the crack and everything. So unless Georgetown and Yale got trade schools, no reasonable prosecutor, no reasonable prosecutor. John Kerry's son of some kind, stepson, son-in-law, Devon Archer, and Hunter Biden will use Seneca Fund, named after Seneca Farm, owned by the Heinz family. They'll use Seneca Fund to rob $60 million from tribal people using Seneca Fund. And Hunter, no reasonable prosecutor. Devon Archer had to take the fall. The Putin's money. Archer and Hunter, the same two woodsmen, will take Putin's money in 2014. In 2012, Burisma, we addressed it already, Holdings Limited, was caught money laundering with Deutsche Bank, a Putin money laundering bank, the same money laundering bank that Donald Trump uses with Putin. So that makes Burisma, we addressed it already, Holdings Limited, a Putin natural gas money laundering firm. This, in 2012, Hunter Biden was their transparency consultant, which doesn't mean anything. I don't know much about that job. I'm sure it was a no-show job. In 2014, however, Hunter Biden and Devon Archer have two $83,000 a month, completely illegal, completely corrupt no-show jobs. This is a Yale graduate in a magazine article explaining this job. And he said, and I quote, "I offered no work product. I gave no advice." Hey, Yale, you real proud of your crackhead Yale graduate? This is a no-show job, plain and simple. It's corruption on the fathers, which again are Senator John Kerry and Joseph Biden, our esteemed president, who couldn't get a job as an Uber Eats driver. So that's Putin's money. So let's see, the military. At 43, Hunter Biden, a lifelong crackhead, cokehead, hooker, stripper freak, who can't resist his wallet, his dick, or his nose, wakes up at 43 with sudden adult onset crackhead patriotism syndrome, a burning desire to wear green, get yelled at, wake up at 06 a.m., 130, whatever, and do jumping jacks. No, he didn't. It was not a sunny Tuesday in crackhead land and he got patriotic. Whatever he did, it has to be pretty big. maybe a dead body, vehicular on the side of the road. It could be a bullet or something, an overdose. Whatever it is, Dana Bash won't tell us. Stephanie Rule, Rachel Did You Do It Maddow, Jake Tapper, they hid all of this from us. We went to Election Day without hearing from Senator Tom Carper. We heard from actresses cheating their kids into school. I don't know how these people sleep at night. The gun is not funny. And he's also corrupted out of the military. He gets caught on crack? How do you get caught on crack? Did like the ESP gizmo finally kick in and said, go get Mr. Hunter? This is ridiculous. These people are criminals. Like, what are we supposed to call them? The gun is not funny. That's 15 years. Hunter Biden is a crackhead and lied about not being a crackhead on a gun application. Dana Bash and Stephanie Rule and Rachel Did You Do It Maddow and Jake Tapper and Jim Acosta and Don Lemon know all about it. This is so fucked up, it's not even funny. Everybody covering for this gun, from the DA to Joe to the press, we're never gonna get justice, ever. That application exists. His signature is on it. Someone needs to show us that gun application. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. There are people in prison for this for 15 years. That's not funny, but the rest of the story is kind of funny. Here's the disgustingness that is the Biden family, all in one gun story. Forget the money, forget taking Putin's money. Everybody on the religious left, tell me what you think about had you known this going into Election Day. Hunter Biden buys a gun. Hunter Biden is a crackhead who bought an illegal crackhead gun. Hunter Biden's illegal crackhead gun is going to get stolen from him by his sister lover, as at the time he's banging his dead brother's widow. First of all, that's disgusting. The morality of our White House is about to jump from what? Goodfellas to Deliverance, and Dana Bash got nothing to say. Stephanie Rule got nothing to say. Jake Tapper, Jim Acosta, Don Lemon, Rachel Did You Do It Maddow, nothing. Pussy grabbing bad, dead brother, sister fucking, not even an honorable mention. How do they sleep at night? Well, maybe this is just normal for them. How many brothers you got, Dana? What's Tuesday night like at the Bash household? How about you, Jake? Your brother comes over, watches the game, your team wins, he gives you a punch in the pants on Sunday, his team wins, you give him a go? Is that how it is at the rich people pervert land? You're just all banging each other's brothers all the time? We don't do that in regular people land. And when we go to the polls, we need to know all of it. Let's see. Let's get back to our story. Seems the president's sister fucking illegal crack owning son has his illegal crack gun stolen from him by his sister lover and thrown in a dumpster. She's upset that he, Hunter, her brother lover, has impregnated yet another woman. A stripper he, quote, doesn't remember meeting, end quote. This is ridiculous. Look, this is not about the woman or the presidential grandchild. They did nothing wrong. They're real people, leave them alone. This is about the state of our republic. This is about a crackhead and a stripper gun. They should make a law, but no reasonable prosecutor, no reasonable reporter. What are you gonna do? Speaking of reporters, Stephanie Rule, you're awful skinny. Before you were selling us out for money and you were stripping and getting knocked up by unconscious crackheads, this just normal week for you? That's why you didn't mention it during the whole campaign season? Nothing. We got porn star fucking not resulting in human life all over, which it should be. And I understand he signed porn star fuck money checks from our Resolute desk. Is that the case? Did Donald Trump sign porn star fuck money checks from our Resolute desk? If he did, he has soiled the United States in a new way that has, wow. In any event, so let's talk about this disgustingness here. So how about you, Jake Tapper, Jim Acosta? How many strippers? Well, they can't knock anybody up. What about you, Don Lemon? You could probably knock people up. You knock up a bunch of strippers this week, Don? You guys had an entire year of a campaign to tell us about all these things, and we get nothing. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. Let's sum up where we are now. It seems the president's sister fucking illegal stripper crack owning son has his illegal crackhead stripper gun stolen from him by his sister lover and thrown in a dumpster because she's upset that he, Hunter, her brother lover, has impregnated another woman, a stripper he doesn't remember meeting because he was fucking her in a crack-induced coma, making a baby about it. I think that was episode 3, season 6 of Leave It to Beaver. And what does Joe do at the time? President Buzz is not in office. President Buzz is the second worst president by a mile, light years ahead of number 3. Here's what he does. He's going to send our Secret Service illegally and feloniously behind our back to fetch his sister fucking illegal stripper crack-owning son's gun, illegal crackhead stripper gun from the dumpster to save the day. And oh, I forgot there was a gutter bum near the dumpster. There was definitely a gutter bum. See the links below. You can read all this stuff for yourself. That's no reasonable prosecutor would bring these charges. No reasonable reporter will mention any of these things. This is how we go to the polls. I want to take a look at 2 specific examples of Republicans and Democrats. There's an executive branch, there's Trump and Biden. Trump is working with Devon Nunes and Rudy Giuliani, and that's a lawyer and a legislator. Biden is with John Kerry and Boyce Flexner Schiller, that's the lawyers and children, Hunter Biden and Devon Archer. All of these people are working together, multi-branches, multi-parties, all this stuff and all this Putin's money. Who thinks we have a separation of powers? Who thinks we have checks and balances? Mitch and Nancy, there are 535 people in our Capitol building. These people publish every word we live under. These words describe each system, its structure, its foundation, and how all the stuff moves, including the economic system and the voting system. And Mitch and Nancy made us a voting system where the one with the most money wins the Who's a Better Candidate contest at a 90% clip. And Mitch and Nancy made an economic system where Mitch and Nancy have the most money at a 100% clip. And no one in the math department wants to count anything. I'm fairly certain neither one of those two sentences could occur independently. They certainly couldn't occur together. Somebody needs to pick up a pencil and count. We need to count our way out of this mess. These lawyer words are how we got here. I'm afraid if we don't stop now and count at that Capitol building and make them explain themselves, your great-great-grandkids will be digging it up and Mitch and Nancy's spawn will be spending it. Have a nice day.